Good morning. I'm Chaplain John Rollison with the Homestead Air Reserve Base Chapel. Thank you so much for joining us for day 13 of our Advent devotional reading and lesson from the Advent Conspiracy Ministry. Today's reading begins with a passage from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verses 2 through 5. At that time, the Roman Emperor, Augustus, decreed that a census should be taken throughout the Roman Empire, and this was the first census taken when Quirinius was the governor of Syria. All returned to their own ancestral towns to register for the census, and because Joseph was a descendant of King David, he had to go to Bethlehem in Judea, David's ancient home, and he traveled there from the village of Nazareth in Galilee, and he took with him Mary, to whom he was engaged, who was now expecting a child. At the start of the Christmas story, Joseph believes that Mary had been unfaithful to him, and he initially planned to divorce her. However, we read in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 1, that an angel appeared to Joseph and convinced him to stay. We understand that God has a role in the Christmas story for Joseph. He wants Joseph to stay with Mary and protect her and help her raise this child, who is the Messiah. And God's plans for Joseph are bigger than he can imagine at this one moment. We can imagine it wasn't an easy decision for Joseph, but Joseph is faithful to his calling from God. Now, Mary and Joseph find out about the upcoming census, and Joseph takes the risk of bringing Mary and their unborn child to Bethlehem. And in the midst of a difficult-to-explain situation, Joseph stays with Mary and leads her to Bethlehem, where the Christ would soon be born. And as we think about this passage, Joseph's example can inspire us to be faithful in our own relationship with God. It may be that God is asking us to do something difficult or something that others won't fully understand. But we trust that God knows what He is doing and that He has given each of us a role to play in the story of salvation that He is writing. Now, we may ask ourselves, is God calling us now to do something difficult? And if so, how can we be faithful to the work that He wants us to do? And what is one step that we could take today to be obedient to whatever it is God has called us to do? I hope this brought you hope and encouragement this morning. And until tomorrow, I'm Chaplain John Rollison with the Homestead Air Reserve Base Chapel.